everybody. It has been a long time since I've done a NECA unboxing. You know what's funny? Off camera, I've bought so many NECAs that I've not even done any reviews for. But you know what? My favorite horror movie, what's a great opportunity as of now to actually go over and review the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 50th anniversary. There's also a Pretty Woman coming out too that I'm definitely going to buy because I've been waiting so long for the Pretty Woman version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre original movie for so long for NECA to make it, and they finally have. But this one is a remake of this guy right here, the original release of their NECA figure. We're going to be going over this guy momentarily in terms of a comparison on this newer updated version here. But today I have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 50th Anniversary Edition. This is, honestly, I was debating whether or not I was going to pick this one up or not, because I already have the original release. Was there anything that is that much better from this release versus the other one? Yes, I would say the face is definitely better sculpted and captures the originality of the original much better than the previous release. But this is what we got. So if we open it up here, here's what the figure looks like in the display for it as well. It has some nice blood decals. I think the difference with this figure versus the cloth one, which again we're going to be going over, is this one's actually a rubber goods versus the cloth goods here. But the reason why I picked this one up and wanted to replace my old one is the sheer size of this guy. This guy is much larger than the original, and the face, again, like mentioning, it captures the original face way better. So let's go ahead and open this guy up and look at all the articulation and all the tools that this guy comes with. I'm usually not a box collector, but the one thing that pisses me off the most about getting a NECA figure is when the box rips. R.I.P. bro. Alright, we got Mr. Leather Daddy out here. So, got him in his nice little T-pose here as if he was a video game character. So, I'm always afraid of like manipulating new NECA characters or figures because every time I ever manipulate them, they have the chance of breaking. That is the one thing that sucks about NECA figures, is sometimes you get a defective one and they could just break at the joint when you're messing with them. So it's always good to probably put brand new figures in hot warm water, but hey, we're going all out. So this is Mr. Leather Daddy here, and honestly off the bat, it was kind of difficult trying to get this guy to stand up on his own. I had to kind of keep manipulating his legs. He's so top heavy. Like, this guy has a lot more weight than the original release. But honestly, just absolutely amazing look. Honestly, the blood like characteristics and details on this figure are so much better than the original. This is just leaps better. Anyways, so let's go over articulation. So, like the original release, the articulation's much of the same. Honestly, all these NECA figures, they rarely ever come with double jointed elbows or double jointed, even feet for that matter. So that's the one thing that I hate about NECA figures, is that they don't really make double jointed figures. They're very behind when it comes to articulation, which hopefully NECA in the future will fix a lot of that, because if you are trying to get that perfect pose with these guys, you just won't get that. With Hasbro figures, at least with like we'll say Star Wars figures, a lot of those are now becoming double jointed. So Hasbro in that regard, it's pretty nice. However, we're not here for the Hasbro figures, we're here for this guy, right? So at any rate, the head goes up and down as you would expect it to, about that much going up, about that much going down. You do get a bit of a side to side. I do like this look where he's just kind of looking off to the side, kind of like he looks in some of the movie previews or screens. It almost has that Michael Myers head tilt kind of look. I think that's probably where Halloween took a lot of their inspiration. But you do get a 90 degree for the most part on the elbows. You do get a little bit more better motion, range of motion, when it comes to the up on the arms comparatively to the original release. Like, you can at least go that far back. It's almost like you can go a lot higher up on the shoulders here than you could on the original. But full range of motion, of course. You got your swivel on the hand as well. You can do that, hey girl, yo, 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 you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll stop, that's a bit cringe, but you get the idea. You do get a full twist as well. He might have a bit of an ab crunch, but it's really hard to tell because this fat boy, yes, I fat shamed Mr. Leather Daddy here, you don't really have any range of motion at all in this guy, and that's kind of disappointing. However, it's to be expected. He's kind of a bulky character, and you know, much of his design is just not going to allow an ab crunch, right? However, the shirt is soft. It's a lot better than the original. The original release, well, it didn't have any soft good to the torso at all. It's just a hard, stiff plastic. You do have leg motion as well. Legs can go about that far out. Doesn't really allow him to sit much, but I don't know why you'd want this figure to sit. He can go about that much going backwards, not really anything at all. And then for the knees, he can go about that much. I'd say that's about 70 degrees, not even a full 90. And then of course you do have swivel in the feet, and it can go a little up and down to get him in the perfect positioning. But that's about it in terms of articulation. It's a typical NECA type articulation. You do get a little bit better range of motion than the original release, so I'll say that much. But if we are looking at the accessories, right, you do get alternative heads. So you get this alternative head here, which makes them look a little bit more crazy looking. Then you do get the grandmother look as well. And of course, just to show you a more in-depth of what his mask comes with on just the basic figure, that's kind of what it looks like there. And then let's go over the other accessories, right? So you do get a couple of hands for holding things. So you do have a holding hand here for like the hammer, and then there's another holding hand here for maybe the chainsaw. And speaking of chainsaw, here is the chainsaw. So I don't really like this look. I don't like this light lime green look to the chainsaw comparatively to the original release. Again, we will be doing a compare and contrast, but I really just don't care for this look, and I might just be taking the chainsaw from the original release and putting it on this guy, because this highlighter color is just kind of poop in my opinion. You do get the apron for the grandmother look as well, so that way you can swap out this apron and put this one on. The only thing is that kind of sucks about my version is I discovered that this has a bit of a tear that came from the factory. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but you can put the tools, the other accessories, in this little pouch here, which is kind of cool. So if you do want to put, like, you know, let's say the knife in here, you can put the knife in there, or if you want to put the spoon, the fork, and all that. Kind of cool that NECA allowed you to do that, to put accessories in this little pouch here, but mine unfortunately came, I think, damaged, so I'll have to glue that. Not a big deal, just glue it, be done with it. But speaking of the accessories as well, in terms of other weapons, you do get a nice little knife here. It looks like it's made of bone or something. And then you do get, I don't know what the fuck that is. It looks like a fork, some kind of weird twisted up fork. But yeah, I can't explain what the hell this thing is. You do get the iconic hammer as well. I do like this design of the hammer, but I think I like the original release a little bit better with this one as well. So we might be using the original hammer. And then you do get a cleaver. So here's what the cleaver looks like. Nice little detail. And then you get a little spoon. So if you want to do the grandmother role play, you can put a little spoon in his hand. You do get a meat hook like the original release got. Just kind of looks like a toothpick. And then you get a longer hammer, a way longer hammer. So whatever one you choose to use, you can use the longer hammer or the shorter one. It's pretty much an all black hammer. There's not really a whole lot of detail with this. And that's pretty much it. You don't get anything else, but it is perfect. It is the perfect amount that you could ever so wish for on this guy. Now let's go over the original release comparatively with this guy though. Let's sling all this shit out of the way and just show you how small he is. He is much smaller. I wouldn't say much smaller, but at least significantly smaller than this guy. This is the original release. Now, if you compare and contrast, honestly, I mean, size is one of them, right? But the blood effects just look way better on this guy comparatively to this. And you do get a cloth goods apron comparatively to this one. I think the rubber looks better than the cloth. At first I thought the cloth looked better, but after seeing this character, or well, this version of Leatherface in anyway, I honestly think the cloth, just honestly on most figures, cloth goods, it's really hard to, in my opinion, it's really hard to put cloth goods on a small figure if it's not like a doll type of figure, like say Hot Toys, you know. It's just, it doesn't work on smaller figures. It rarely ever works, and so honestly cloth goods can just fuck off for the most part. But yeah, I mean, the there's not much going on for this guy. I mean, you can definitely tell that he's not as accurate to the movie as this one is, and that's kind of one of the biggest sellers for this guy, is just the updated design on this Leatherface, right? But the thing is that I feel like there's more designs going on, or there's more details on this guy in terms of the arms, though. Like, look at how much more detailed and dirty and disgusting his arms look comparatively to this one. I think NECA could have done a better job of making this guy a little more grungier looking, like they've done here, where he's just looks like he's got blood decorating here and dirt in his like arms. It just looks way better. And the chainsaw, I mean, look at that chainsaw. The chainsaw looks far more better than this highlighter one. I think I'm definitely going to be using this one over the highlighter like chainsaw. It's just got more blood decals on it. There's like barely any blood splattering on this highlighted version. This one is just, in my opinion, just a far better look than this. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this little NECA quick unboxing. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. I'm definitely going to have more NECA videos coming in the future. I do have the new Karkov mummy figure that also came out that I will also be doing a little review unboxing of as well. And I will probably go over some of the other NECA figures that I do have at my discretion here. I've not even put them on camera like I've mentioned, so I will make a video of like the NECA figures that I own and just briefly going over them. Anyways, guys, you have a good rest of your day. This guy is now trash, and I am now going to be making way for this guy. You guys have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video.